Imagine a piece of technology that doesn't just treat you when you're sick, but can actually see that sickness coming years down the road. A system that can look deep, deep into your body's chemistry and basically predict your health's future. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into how that's not science fiction anymore. So let's just start with the one question that's driving all of this innovation. What if you could stop a disease dead in its tracks before it even begins? What if that whole struggle wasn't a fight at all, but more like a negotiation you could win before the first punch is even thrown? How would that change, well, everything? You see, what we're talking about here is a complete 180 in how we think about medicine. It's a huge shift away from a system that just reacts to problems after they happen and towards one that actively predicts and prevents them from ever happening in the first place. And this slide, it lays out the two paths perfectly. Over on the left, that's the world we all know, reactive medicine. We wait for symptoms to show up, then we jump in and try to manage a disease that's already there. But on the right, that's the future, predictive medicine. The whole game is to step in before symptoms ever have a chance to appear, managing our health so that disease never gets a foothold. So why do we need to make this shift? I mean, modern medicine is pretty amazing, right? Well, it is, but it has this one massive blind spot. We're essentially always fighting yesterday's battles because we only deal with problems after they've already taken root. And this analogy just hits the nail on the head. Think about it like a smoke detector in your house. Our current medical system is basically designed to go off when it detects smoke. Those are the symptoms. But here's the thing. By the time you hear that alarm, the fire's already burning. This new technology, it aims to be the system that spots the faulty wiring long before there's even a spark. So what is this incredible solution? It's a technology called the AI-driven molecular biophysics platform. Okay, I know that's a mouthful and it sounds super complex, and, well, it is. But the idea at its core is absolutely revolutionary. This is the engine that's designed to find that faulty wiring. So let's break that down. What on earth is molecular biophysics? At its heart, it's the science that uses physics to understand how all the tiny molecules in our body actually work. And for our purposes, the easiest way to picture it is this. It's creating a digital twin of your body's internal chemistry. The platform's AI then analyzes all your molecular data to build this simulation that can spot the absolute tiniest, most subtle changes. We're talking about the molecular whispers that signal a major health storm is brewing on the horizon. So how does this actually work for a person? Well, it's a pretty clear four-step process. First, it gathers a ton of data, usually from something as simple as a blood draw. Second, its super powerful AI crunches all that data at a molecular level. Third, it generates a risk signature that is 100% unique to you. And finally, and this is the absolute game changer, it gives you a preventive health roadmap. And this isn't just generic advice, it's a specific, actionable plan, maybe suggesting a tiny dietary tweak because of your personal markers, steering you away from that future problem. Okay, now let's get into the really cool stuff. What can this predictive engine actually do? This is where this whole abstract idea becomes a concrete, world-changing reality. 5 to 10 years. Just let that sink in for a moment. That is the predictive window we're talking about. This platform is designed to see the trajectory of major diseases 5 to 10 years before they would ever show up on a standard test. That's up to a decade of lead time to do something about it. Incredible. And what exactly is it looking for in that crystal ball? Well, basically, the biggest health threats we face as we age. We're talking about spotting the molecular signs that come way before a heart attack or a stroke, identifying the quiet patterns of insulin resistance that lead to type 2 diabetes, and even detecting the earliest, faintest markers for devastating diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It can even pick up on these invisible things like chronic inflammation, a haywire immune system, or signatures of cellular stress. The secret to that amazing predictive power is data, just a massive amount of it. And really, the best way to think about it is like a weather forecast for your body. I mean, to predict a hurricane, you don't just look at wind speed, right? Meteorologists look at ocean temperatures, air pressure, satellite images. They pull in clues from every possible source. This platform does the exact same thing, but for your health. And this chart gives you a little peek at what those clues are. The AI is fusing all these different data streams together. You've got things like molecular assays, bioelectrical metrics, your metabolic markers, even lifestyle factors. By weaving all of this together, the AI sees the big picture and connects dots that any single test would totally miss. Now, a technology this transformative, it doesn't just change medicine, it creates a whole new market. So let's take a look at what people are calling the longevity economy, the business of helping people live longer, healthier lives. And wow, the numbers here are just staggering. This platform isn't just serving one little niche, it plugs into multiple gigantic markets. You're looking at things like AI-driven drug discovery, the booming preventative health sector, and of course, the multi-trillion-dollar industry for managing age-related diseases, an industry this tech could completely turn on its head. And the business plan is just as sophisticated as the tech itself. It's not a single product, it's this really clever five-layered approach. It involves licensing the platform out to clinics, selling analytics subscriptions to researchers and insurers, and even partnering with pharmaceutical companies to speed up R&D. It's designed to weave itself into the entire healthcare landscape. So what's its secret sauce? What gives it the edge? Well, it's not just another health app. It's that powerful combination of its deep biophysics core, that unbelievable 5 to 10 year detection window, and its ability to create truly personalized prevention plans. That unique mix creates a really, really strong competitive advantage. To sum it all up, the people who created this platform, they believe it represents nothing less than the next major paradigm shift in global healthcare. Now, that is a bold claim for sure, but based on everything we've just looked at, it's a claim built on a pretty powerful foundation of science and data. And that brings us right to the final question, the one that moves beyond the technology and straight to you, because having this kind of power brings up some profound personal questions. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. If you could see a detailed forecast of your health's future, would you actually want to look?